Welcome everybody listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with my boy A-Rod. What's going on? I'm back from Atlanta. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just living day by day. That's how I got to keep it.
Day by day, hour by hour, year by year. It's good to see everybody again. Everyone's beautiful faces.
It is. It is National Women's Month. So.
And we just celebrated National Women's Day, International Women's Day.
So our backgrounds are dedicated to, powerful women in sports. I see you rocking the Osaka and Serena.
I got the GOAT and the future GOAT.
I'm going with the new Marlins GM Ong. So shout outs to the women in sports and how they impact it.
Correct.
That's going to be our first topic we're going to tackle today, the impact of women in sports. So now you're seeing the change of the guard. Women are coming to men's sports and they're making an impact right out the gates. And some women can hang, man. I bet you Serena could definitely take on Roger Federer and take him down easily if they played a game.
Serena's the GOAT, so she can take down anybody she wants.
She definitely is. But the Marlins are one of those organizations that definitely crossed a big step there and signing her to be the new GM for the team. She has history back with the Yankees and Derek Jeter loves her. So, bring her on board. I'm all for it.
Yeah, we got a few like people who are like in ownership. I know the Pelicans got their owner is Gail Benson. The Seahawks, Jody Allen, who was married to Paul Allen. Mm-hmm. She's now the owner of the Seattle Seahawks. So we got some women in ownership. We got GMs. We got coaches. We got referees. We got strength and conditioning. I mean, we have, commentators. They flooded what used to be, the boys' club. They flooded it, which is obviously beautiful to see. I've always been one that is there for women's rights, and I have two younger sisters, so I've always been like, men are terrible anyway. You can do whatever. You can do whatever. Don't let a man tell you that you can't. So I've always been like that. That's why Serena's my GOAT, and I'm happy. I'm always happy to celebrate the women.
I am too, and I like to see the emergence of them coming into sports in general and just being present in it. It's good. It's good for the sport.
Yep.
It gets rid of that toxic masculinity culture and shows, hey, we're welcoming. And you see players like LeBron embrace it. And when you have big names like that do it, that's like the best of the best you can have right there.
You remember Kobe, before his untimely passing, he was ready to take over and help the WNBA take it to the next level. And it really, it was with Gigi. People were seeing how good his daughter was, and he had WNBA players wanted to pull up to her youth games to see her play. So and same thing with college, with UConn. We've seen UConn's dominant over the last 20 years. So, it's coming. It just comes to just kind of like, we got to get past this stigma that we put on women's sports, that it's not the same, it's not as marketable and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it starts with ownership, like having a GM, having an owner that's the team president. Becky Hammond is the assistant coach of the Spurs. At some point, she's going to get a head coaching job. It's probably going to be replacing Greg Popovich. We're seeing it, but it always going to start in the top. It's kind of like in the NFL, we have like an issue. There's a lack of African American GMs and African American coaches. It's the same thing. It's when everybody who's the owner or the team president looks the same, they're gonna hire what looks just like them. So same thing with women. If it's all men, they're gonna hire men. But now that we have doors opening for women as well, it's beautiful to see. Like I said, I'm here for it, definitely.
I'm game for it too, man. It's cool to see, and like you said, we've seen some great women play the game. So there's a lot of great athletes out there. I think you and I can both agree, probably the greatest one is Serena Williams. Like, she has to be on that Mount Rushmore face of players that have been the best women player and dominant at her sport at that. But all these WNBA players you're seeing, the Lisa Leslies, the Cheryl Swoops, the Tina Thompsons, and now you see the new, or now they're getting old, the Diana Taurasi's, the Sue Birds.
Two words.
I'll butcher the girl that came out of Oregon that just came out, man. But she's gonna
Oh
be
yeah, yeah.
good. Yeah, she's got
And
a
the
crazy,
Nigerians that came out of Stanford,
yeah.
Ogumake, Chine Ogumake, who be working on ESPN on her day job, and then she's doing basketball at night. So and you can't, as far as faces of female athletes, Billie Jean King back in the day was the face of women athletes. Maya Rudolph's,
There's so many, man. Like
yeah,
there's just
yeah.
we can go across all platforms of sport, for track and field, to the Olympics, to gymnastics. There's just so many that
Oh, gymnastics. Damn, yeah. Oh my God, her
Biles.
Simone, but that's another almost GOAT. Like Simone Biles is
Yeah.
racking them up with gold medals and stuff. So
She's not even 30 yet, man. She's not even 30.
right, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But yeah,
wild.
women definitely deserve their place in sport because they can hang with anybody, and they can put up the numbers, and like you said, it comes down to the GM and the way they market these things. And I think the best thing for them is kind of like the little brother big brother approach. You've got the NBA wearing the WNBA logo to the games in the bubble, showing up to their
Showing
games.
up to the games. Yes.
That's really admirable of one thing, as opposed to saying, hey, we're here, don't interfere with us.
Yeah.
You see these guys respecting their game, because those girls can ball. I guarantee you they could drop some points in the NBA if they were in there.
Yep.
Dish out some dimes. But it's good to see that type of conglomerate coming together, two organizations coming together, even though like a brother and sister organization, and just breaking bread and saying, support these guys. They support us. We support them. So should you.
Yeah.
And I'm a sneakerhead, so I collect sneakers, and I have this Twitter feed that I follow, and they'll post the different shoes that come out, and then they post other things like consoles, things that are collectible that people like. They were posting WNBA hoodies on there too, those orange ones that like Chris Paul and LeBron,
Nice.
and people were snatching them up real quick.
That's dope.
And my biggest thing, I think the biggest thing that happens are these shoe companies that endorse the players.
Yes.
Because once a Nike commercial comes out, everybody you're talking about. Do you see the new Nike commercial? Did you see that? Like they're another big influencer.
You see the women behind me, they both got Nike on. Like Nike, for what it's worth, they will back the stuff that is like the Colin Kaepernicks, the Charles Barkley's, the controversial kind of thing. They'll back it all day. So I always like to see Nike put on for the women, because if you look at it, for the most part, a lot of it is Nike, and it's some Adidas as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know like soccer and stuff like that, but I mean, shoot, think about it, soccer. Like our men's soccer team has been terrible for the last how many years, and women's soccer in America has been
dominant. You can go from Mia Hamm, you can go back to then.
Yeah.
You can jump to now with the girls that are in there now. There's just so many of them.
And they swaggy too. You remember that celebration they had when they won like a couple years back? They was drinking champagne and popping bottles and stuff. And people were like, oh, this is not a way to act like a lady. And I'm like, man, y'all need to shut up, man. Like, let them have fun. And that's the problem. We have this toxic masculinity, patriarchal thing that we need to get away from, where we keep, that's not ladylike, or, oh, that's, it's like, nah, they just won. How would you act if you won a championship? So
exactly, you're gonna act dumb, you're gonna act stupid, you're gonna pop champagne bottles.
Yeah, pop champagne. Yeah,
let them be them.
Also,
let them be them, man. What are they supposed to do? Sip tea, sit there and be quiet?
Right? Like they gotta, like just, oh man, thank you. Like, no, party. You know what I mean? But I do want to give a shout out to the USF women's basketball team. I was just watching a few minutes ago. They just advanced to the American Athletic Championship game. They're going to play the winner of Houston and UCF. So depending on when you're listening or watching this, hopefully that meant USF went all the way, but go Bulls, we one step closer. Our women's basketball team has been carrying our program, our USF program, for years. Like they've constantly been ranked and all that stuff. TV exposure, everything. So if you need to shout out USF for having a new bookstore or having a new this, shout out the women's basketball team, because they're on ESPN all the time.
franchise tag. We did a
Oh,
segment
we're
on
going
it.
to franchise tags.
Franchise tag. We talked about it last week, and nobody was signed last week when we did this. We did it. We did it a day earlier when we recorded this. By the way, we did it on Tuesday. We usually record on Wednesdays, but on Tuesday, even Wednesday, nobody was signed. But it's finally done, and we have 10 players tagged. I'm
And
gonna
a lot of
read
players who weren't.
and a lot of players who weren't. So we're gonna go through that list of tagged players, and we're gonna go through those players that were speculated to be tagged, and let's play where they're gonna sign. Where do we think they could sign? So let's do one of those.
Okay.
So of the 10 signed, we predicted. You know what's crazy? I was listening back to our show, and we predicted that defensive players are going to be the first dominoes to drop, and we were right about that. And we also predicted they were going to be edge rushers, and it seems in this tagging, edge rushers were not the piece to be tagged. Like they were kind of treated like running backs, like we'll just go draft one type of thing. You can always draft an edge rusher. So the first domino to fall was Justin Simmons.
Yep.
Figured he would be tagged. It's a
good
free safety.
That was a very good tagging.
Next down the list, we have Taylor Morton. Never even heard of him, but he's a good tackle for Carolina. Marcus May.
Are you really happy y'all tagged him?
Hell yeah, I'm happy we tagged him because we can sign him in like 3 days because we got all this money.
Really? Oh, y'all do have money, but okay. But okay.
He graded 5th best at his position, so I'm fine with that.
Was it Pro Football Focus?
No, it wasn't Pro Football Focus.
Okay.
It was another one that seemed more legit than Pro Football Focus.
You don't think PFF is legit?
It's pretty legit. Might have been. I could be wrong, but fifth grade, I'm happy with that. Like, that's good. I like Marcus May too. You know, him and Adams were a good combo, but obviously Adam is gone.
Okay.
Leonard Williams, I was really hoping he would reunite with us, but he got tagged by the Giants.
He stayed in New York though.
Yeah, he said, "I'm not going anywhere." He put the Leonardo DiCaprio meme up, said, "I'm not going anywhere." So
I'm not freaking leaving.
Brandon Schriff, we knew that was gonna happen. Bucks fans, be happy. We know Mike Pless is. He texts us about it. Chris Godwin is tagged.
They doubled down. They got Chris Godwin and Levante David back.
Mm-hmm.
But Jack Barrett.
We'll talk about that later on. Maybe next episode we can dive into free agency. Cam Robinson was a questionable one. People were like, this is kind of weird because he had like a so-so season, but I guess he's Jacksonville's best offensive lineman. So
I mean, you're about to draft the number 1 overall pick at quarterback.
Gotta have somebody.
You need some big bodies up there to protect them, their investment.
Allen Robinson was a 75-25 one in my case.
I was shocked.
Yeah,
I was very shocked.
I think there's something brewing with the quarterback.
Russell Wilson,
Deshaun or Russell Wilson, somebody's coming.
They said, I was reading that they're making that a priority. So the only way that they would franchise A-Rob, in my opinion, is because they're going after Russell Wilson.
I would think so too. Or Deshaun Watson. One of them's got to come. It's got to be one of those boys. Marcus Williams with the Saints. Why not? And then last but not least, Andy got a deal done. I'm so happy for this man. I know you're like on the fence about it, but Dak Prescott is franchise tag.
I'm not on the fence about him.
And a deal is worked out for him. Thank God. I mean, but he's like a rival to your team. I know you're happy for him.
I know, but I like Dak Prescott. I don't like who he plays for, but I like Dak Prescott. I've never been on the fence about Dakota. I'll make fun of him when he loses, and I'll say that I'll tell you again, they're gonna go 8-8 next year.
He needed to get paid though. He needed to get paid.
No, he deserved it. Yeah, he deserved it.
Do you think what he's getting paid though is what the contract is to be the second highest paid player in the or quarterback in the NFL? Do you think that's fitting, or
the way the quarterback market works? It's just how it works. It's just
I agree.
Every year, someone's going to be the newest, highest paid quarterback. It's just how it works. And he got lucky that they drug their foot in the mud with him for the last couple of years because he tried to get this deal done 2 years ago, but they just kept waiting and franchising. Now he got his deal and he got to pay him what he's worth. 40 mils is the going rate right now. And if anything, the team that they had on paper last year, with and without Dakota Prescott, is the difference. With Dak Prescott, they might have won a playoff game. without Dak Prescott, they're not even in the discussion. I mean, if they
I,
didn't play in such a terrible division, it would have been like laughable, like how much of a drop off it was from Dak Prescott to Andy Dalton. So 40 mil, he gets like 70 something, 75 guaranteed or something like that.
his
160
fourth
mil
year.
throughout the life of the contract.
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah, and he has a fourth year opt out, so that's good for him that he can opt out if he wants.
He'll be a Cowboy for life.
I think so too.
Yeah, he'll be
I
a
think so
Cowboy for
too,
life.
unless Jerry Jones starts getting in one of those moods where he's just like he has to wheel and deal and get
By
stuff.
then, I don't even think it'll be Jerry Jones calling the shots anymore if he's alive. It's gonna be Stephen Jones at some point,
Yeah,
full
I
throttle.
agree. I agree, but I'm glad he's there. I'm glad he's tagged and the deal was done immediately. He had to be tagged for the sake of it for the day, but the deal is done. He's a Cowboy and he's the second highest paid quarterback in the league.
Get it, boys.
Notable players that aren't franchised. So I'm gonna go 1 through 10. I'll just name them. Give me a little speculation where you think he could land up.
Okay.
So the first one is a guy that we heard his name in and out all the time saying he could not. Aaron Jones, running back, formerly of the Green Bay Packers.
That one is intriguing.
It is.
I thought they would hold on to him. So that one caught me off guard for sure. For some reason, I feel like he's gonna find a way back in Green Bay when he realizes that the market is not so sweet. I mean, there are some teams out there that could afford him, like the Jets. But I don't know if the Jets want to spend that money. The Dolphins, another team that are in need of a running back. I can see that as well. I definitely see that as well. But I don't know why. I don't see Jamal Williams and AJ Dillon being the two lead backs for the Packers next year. And I feel like it should still be Aaron Jones. I don't know what they have up their sleeve. I can't even tell you. They might be looking to draft Najee Harris or Etienne or I don't know, is Chuba Hubbard coming out, like one of these boys. But to me, common sense says stay. Figure out a contract situation that would work for both sides without having to franchise him. But obviously, he wants his money. I mean, he led the league in rushing touchdowns last year. If I'm not
I think
mistaken.
so. Yeah. He had 15.
Yeah. So figure it out. If not, I think he'll end up as a Jet or a Dolphin. To be honest with you.
I think I'm kind of leaning the same way as you. I was doing a lot of reading and preparing for this. And one of the beat writers for Green Bay was saying that they're looking to bring him back on a cheaper deal as opposed to franchising him and trying to work that out.
Yeah.
And that makes sense to some people. Like, and we talked about it all the time that the league doesn't value running backs like they should. But when a guy is pivotal in your offense, like he was, could kind of give Aaron Rodgers a bit of a rest as opposed to throwing. You got this guy who can rush it for you.
Yeah.
I think it would make sense that you do bring him back, but he is linked to the Dolphins. My landing spot, I think, would be the Dolphins for him. They need a running back bad. Myles Gaskin isn't the person that they need. But I'm with you. If he's smart, and if he's smart, it's more of if the Packers are smart.
Packers are smart. Yeah, because I mean, first of all, I mean, if he wants to go get paid, go get paid. At the end of the day, that to me is as a running back, and like I know we said they're kind of undervalued. The problem is that they are overutilized at times. So their shelf life is not as high as a quarterback or a receiver or safety or something like that. Like they literally at their best will be 7-8 seasons. At their tip top absolute best, they're not going to make it past 28, 29. Like you're not Frank Gore's APs, those are not normal situations. So, he's not old, but he's not like young either. And you can find somebody that can get the same production for cheap. So do you see the Le'Veon Bell situation? He waited to get paid. It's not really working out for him. I mean, he's on a good situation now. But he's not a leading back anymore. Melvin Gordon was going through it. A lot of these backs are going to go through it. Aaron Jones, to me, they'll figure it out in Green Bay. The thing, Green Bay is a very different kind of organization compared to other football teams. They don't have like an ownership or anything like that. It's all
The city owns it.
City owned. It's so different over there. That's why I'm not surprised that he didn't get franchised, but I do feel like they will find a way to bring it back.
Yeah,
But if he wants to get paid, go get paid.
I feel like they take care of their players too there, in the long run.
Yeah.
But I also don't think Jamal Williams is on the team either. I think he's a free agent too.
Is he?
I think so.
If that's the case, they have no reason not to bring Aaron Jones
They
back.
got to get somebody.
I mean, A.J. Dillon was great in college, but A.J. Dillon is 250 pounds.
Yeah, he's a
six. Like he's not Derrick Henry. He's like a big boy. Like you want somebody that's not that big too.
There's a lot of cheese curds to eat over there too, so it's just adding to that.
I don't know. Unless he's lactose intolerant, I know that boy's eating over there too.
So my number 2 guy now. This is one that I was speaking about last week, and I was like, this is definitely a guy who could get the franchise tag, but I also feel like it's kind of pointless because he doesn't want to be there. So I feel like Detroit made the right move and they didn't keep Kenny Galladay.
Yep.
So Galladay is now a free agent. I don't think they see him in their future plans. Where do you see him winding up?
As we discussed, I said there's no way he was gonna be in Detroit moving forward, and it was one of those teams that needs somebody. It's New England, a New York Jets. I saw him linked to the Giants. I don't know what is this notion that the Giants all of a sudden need receivers, but they're linked to drafting receivers in this draft, and they're linked to picking up one of these free agents. So I saw New York Jets. I've seen New York Giants. I don't see why New England wouldn't want to make a run for them. Shoot, the Eagles should make a run for them. The Colts, I can see that as well.
That would be a great fit for him right there.
If I had to pick one team, if I had to pick one team, let's say the Colts.
Colts?
Let's say the Colts.
So this is another guy I did a little bit of reading on. And in the beginning, it was the Giants that were linked to him.
Yeah.
And then there was rumblings Washington would come knocking. And now I was reading a beat writer from Miami saying the Dolphins are linked to him. The Dolphins are going to make a big splash this year, I think. See, this is what I was talking about. Guys like Sam Darnold on my team, they don't go and get him toys, but the Dolphins drafted a player who's a good quarterback. If they're going to keep him, surround him with help. If you're going to do that, Kenny Galladay is a great number 1 for you to have on your team, I think. So I think he could land up with Miami too if he goes to the he's not going back to Detroit, but yeah, Miami would be the team that I would think. And if not, I would possibly say the Colts would be a dark horse. I really like that pick right there.
I don't, because that means Carson Wentz will win a Super Bowl.
All right, so my next 2, 3 and 4, they're on the same team, and they were expected to franchise tag one of these guys within the coming days, but they didn't. We have a running back and a cornerback, Chris Carson and Shaquille Griffin. Both are, I wouldn't say really key pieces to the team, but know the system, play well, fan favorites, pretty quiet, not vocal about a lot of stuff, kind of hurt every now and then, but when on the field, they produce.
Yeah.
Do you see them possibly trying to bring them back on a cheaper deal?
Carson, no. The thing about Seattle is that they always have backup running backs. Like, they always have running backs on their roster. They're not going to give Chris Carson money. It's not going to happen. Like, they
drafted that one guy. Who's the guy they drafted in the first round that's been hurt every year since?
What year is that?
Like 2 or 3 years ago.
I couldn't even say off the top of my head. I know
you know who I'm talking about.
They have
right?
They have a couple guys. Yeah, I know. I have a feeling I know who you're talking about. They have a couple guys though. So like at the end of the day, they're not hurting for running backs. They'll find a running back for cheap. They're not going to worry about that. Where Chris Carson would probably end up, who knows? He could end up in Green Bay if they don't bring back Aaron Jones. To be honest with you, but I don't know what kind of price tag he's being valued at right now, as far as asking price. I mean, it's really tough because there's so much of the same kind of like players that you don't know what team is valuing. Because are teams going to wait for the draft? Because like you're a Jets fan, right? Would you rather have a Najee Harris or Travis Etienne, or would you want to have one of these Chris Carsons or Aaron Jones?
You know where I stand on this.
You like Najee Harris, I know that.
Oh my
But if
God.
you have the opportunity to get Aaron Jones or Chris Carson, would you not?
I'm taking Najee Harris, man. You have youth, and they're comparing him to such a bully of a running back, man. Like they're comparing him to a lot of great
I
players.
saw Steven Jackson. Remember him?
Yeah. Saw that comparison.
That was a He played for the Rams.
Yeah.
I saw someone else too. I forgot. But yeah, I can see. He's a big guy, so I can see that.
One scout for Alabama said that he will be better than Derrick Henry. He said he will be better than Derrick Henry, and that makes me.
I don't know.
I mean, it's everything to hype.
Derrick Henry just ran for 2,000 yards.
But all I'm saying is this kid he's the real deal running. Like he's a definitely first day off the board running back that you have to take. You're seeing a good running back there, but we're going draft. Let's stick with these guys. Because I could talk all day about. We could do a show about Najee Harris.
About Najee Harris alone, and I can do one.
I'll send the clips all day to the Jets, just like, hey man, just listen to this, give it some thought. Chris Carson, like you said, it's just kind of like a wait and see approach for running backs. It sucks for
it's a running back thing,
yeah, and it really sucks, man. I don't like that value of that because at the end of the day, I feel like running backs are like the most popular players in the NFL when you think about it.
Yeah,
they're like the most popular players. They sell the most jerseys if it's not the quarterback.
They're not no. I would say the wide receiver is the most popular player on the team. The quarterback and the wide receiver.
I feel like it's running back because when you think of like,
give me 5 household name running backs that play right now.
That play right now. I can't. I wouldn't be able to do that.
But if I tell you, give me 5 quarterbacks, you can name them off the rip.
Yeah, I mean, I could
5 receivers, you can name them off the rip.
Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, exactly. Kamara, running backs are just the value of a running back is just. This is not 1976. Like it's a passing league.
I'm saying,
and you need your running back to be very versatile, like an Alvin Kamara. That's why
the game evolves. I understand that the ground and pound is like going away, but what I'm trying to get is like overall, when you think of like great football players, Emmitt Smiths, the Jim Browns, the Herschel Walkers,
60s, 70s,
Walter Paytons. I know, but like it's like running backs, and now it's like slowly fading away. So yeah, it's like a domino effect. It's kind
Think
of like
about it. At a time, you'll probably see a couple of running backs go in the first round. Not anymore. You may get one this year because I've been hearing maybe not even Najee Harris will go in the first round because I think Etienne's already fallen. But receivers, we got 5. We got a tight end in Kyle Pitts. We got Jamar Chase. We got Jalen Waddle. We got Devontae Smith. We got Rondell Moore. We got what's his name? Rashad Bateman, all projected to go in the first round. Last year, it was the same thing. It was the CD Lamb and Ruggs and Jalen Reagor and Justin Jefferson. So receivers, that's just where it's at right now. That's where the value is.
I just think they don't know how to produce the talent out of these guys. They draft them and they just fall by the wayside.
It's not the producing the talent, is they can get more for less. I can get a 23-year-old to do exactly what this 28-year-old can do, and I'm paying this 23-year-old $1 million, and I got to pay this 28-year-old $18 million to keep him on my team. I'm gonna pay the 23-year-old to do exactly what this 28-year-old can do, who has less mileage on his body. You get an Alabama running back. It's like they've already played 4 years of professional football.
I won't fight that at all.
So.
All right, so predictions: Carson and Griffin. Where could you see them at?
Carson, he probably end up in New England for all I know. I don't know. New England. I'll say New England. That makes sense to me. Griffin. God, who's gonna need Shaquille Griffin? I say he resigns.
I like that one.
He resigns.
I could see Griffin resigning or going to Jacksonville, and Carson might have to play that weight game, man. As much as that sucks, I could see that. Maybe coming back to the Seahawks on a cheaper deal.
New England gets him for the low. You know how Bill Belichick operates.
Yeah, he fits that model. And then I think he's been linked to the Jets too. But
everyone's been linked to the Jets.
I know.
Everyone's been linked to the Jets and the Dolphins.
Yeah, a
That's
lot have.
it's kind of annoying. Nobody linked to Philly because we got no money.
My next two picks, 5 and 6, are both tight ends, and they're productive tight ends at that. Hunter Henry and Jontu Smith.
Jonnu Smith.
Where do you see these?
Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry surprised that he didn't get tagged. I'm surprised it didn't because he's a good offensive
because he stayed hurt. That's why
he does stay hurt a lot. But when he's on the field, he's productive. That's like the hardest thing, man. It sucks.
Your best ability is availability. You gotta stay healthy. This whole so the whole franchise thing. It doesn't mean that they're gonna let you walk. You're gonna test free agency and realize you have a home still in Los Angeles. So to me, he is still one of the most productive tight ends that we do have in the league. Top 10 for me. Why? I mean, you got a young quarterback and aging receivers in Keenan Allen. Mike Williams is not old, but
he's always got an injury bug too.
He's always hurt too. So keep him. Find a way to restructure his deal and make it more team friendly. Or Or if the Colts can't find a way to get Carson Wentz off of us, Hunter Henry would be perfect in Indianapolis. Not Chicago. They got Cole from that. That's the only Pittsburgh. No.
New England?
New England, no. He is not. He's a Charger. He's a Charger, or because they didn't franchise Jonnu Smith, he might just end up in Tennessee. Nah, he's not a bruiser like that. They need tough boys like that. So now he'll stay in LA. He look like a West Coast kid.
What about Jonnu?
Man, that one kind of surprised me. That one really surprised me, actually. I thought they liked him.
I did too. He did him for not that much.
God, what's going on in Cleveland or Cincy? I want him to be like in the Midwest.
Cincy's a good spot for one of them to land.
Because who does Cincy have right now at tight end? I can't even think of the person. I think they had like Uzo.
Yeah, that's what they use.
Uzoma or something like that.
Yeah, and then the other guy that came in,
who does Jacksonville have? That could be a spot.
Their tight end retired. Used to be Cincy's old one, Eifert.
It was Tyler Eifert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville. One of those. Hunter Henry is going to Jacksonville.
I could see it.
Hunter Henry is going to Jacksonville.
Cincy or Jacksonville, take your pick. I don't care. One of them there, one of the other.
We're going to Jacksonville. That's what we're going to do. Jonnu Smith, Cincinnati.
My next, this one was inevitable when they made the trade for Brown from the Raiders. Joe Thuney is now a free agent, or not franchise tag, and welcome to test the market. Do you think Belichick will bring him back on a cheaper deal?
I thought he already did. Oh, did he not already do that?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but I know the Brown move solidified that Thuney is expendable.
That's true.
He's linked to a whole lot of teams.
Honestly, with offensive linemen, I mean, they could end up anywhere. Like literally Jacksonville, anywhere. Like anybody who has a young quarterback, Houston, if they have if they want to keep Deshaun Watson and protect them. Seattle, if they want to keep Russell Wilson and protect them. I wish the Eagles have money because we could use some help on the offensive line. Who else is? I mean, there's a lot. But there's so many teams with offensive linemen. It's really hard to pick where a player is going to end up. It was smart for Belichick to go get Brown back, but he may end up in New England still. But I mean, there's too many. For offensive lineman, there's too many places he can go.
I'm hoping he comes to the Jets, man. I need to stockpile.
You can't have everybody.
I'm not. I'm just saying that's the only one of these guys.
You mentioned 7 players that want to be Jets next year.
I never said any of those guys that I want. I said who they were linked to, or I think they go. This is the only one that I want here.
Oh man, I heard Kenny Galladay. Oh man, I heard
I said I wish, but I told you he'd end up with either Washington
I
or
heard
Miami.
Chris Carson.
We know that they're talking. We know that those guys are going to talk to everybody. I want him to be on the O-line because
I heard Aaron Jones.
Hey man.
I heard Barry Sanders. Damn, you want everybody over there. You want to bring back what's his name?
Curtis Martin, bring him.
Curtis Martin, you want to bring him back too?
Bring Revis Island.
Revis Island back. You want what's his name to play backup? Joe Namath?
Shoot, man, the worst Hall of Famer ever. All right, let's flip it to defense now. 8 and 9, I got 2 good defensive players, linebackers, edge rushers. Hassan Reddick, very questionable, not tagged, and Bud Dupree.
Bud Dupree. That one, I'm not too shocked about Bud Dupree because I know they got no money over there, but I want Bud Dupree. We need linebackers. I wish we had money. That's the problem. The Eagles are broke. We got no money. We got a screwed up situation. So our team has a good defensive line and okay secondary, but no linebackers. And a Bud Dupree would be perfect. But where do you think these two gentlemen will end up?
Hassan, man, I hope my team calls.
See what I mean? That's what
I hope, but I don't.
What about like the Panthers?
The only reason I'm sticking defense, like my team is going to make a lot of defensive calls. I know that. My coach is a defensive coach, and he's going to be calling a lot of these defensive players. I know that. Panthers are a sneaky one.
I need to watch out for the Panthers.
Cincinnati's another really sneaky one too to go get some players.
Cincinnati they do like to get people within their division.
And also Patriots got a lot of money to spend, man.
But they got a lot of guys coming back from like
COVID opt-out. Yeah.
But they got money. But they don't spend money.
I know that, but this could be a changing of the guard for Bill. You never know. Anything is any given Sunday, any given day in the NFL, something could change. And this guy Hassan Reddick, he's a nasty boy, man.
Ooh, you know where Bud Dupree's gonna end up? Green Bay.
They gotta go after somebody. They need
Green
a linebacker.
Because what's his name? They didn't bring back what's his name. He had like a club on his hand at the end of the season. My God. I can't
not one of the Smith brothers, was it?
No, it wasn't one of the Smith brothers. It was I can't think of his name. My Green Bay friends are gonna be mad. I forget people's names, but Bud Dupree will be because I don't know what they're gonna do with Aaron Jones, but if they're gonna spend money, they need to spend money on making sure that Tom Brady doesn't carve him up and Leonard Fournette, well, whoever's the running back for the Bucs next year doesn't carve him up because that's who they got to worry about is the Bucs. They don't got to worry about Detroit. Chicago, unless they get Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson, and Minnesota, no one cares about them. Their eyes are set on potentially the Saints and the Bucs. And if they had a Bud Dupree, or if they had a Bud Dupree, they would have won that game. So Green Bay needs to go after Bud Dupree.
What do you see Hassan landing?
I'm gonna wait. Let me hear what you got to say, so I can kind of think about this one.
So, I could see, give or take, I got 3 spots for either of them to go.
Ooh, I got one.
Cincinnati. I liked your pick on Green Bay. I didn't have that originally in it, so I guess I could be a 4th. Green Bay is a sneaky pick. Seattle and Denver would be my other one. Because Denver loves him a good linebacker. And if you pair him with Von Miller, who they're keeping.
Denver. You know who I got? Believeland. Cleveland got to get somebody, right? Or am I tripping here?
Cleveland's going to make a move. I don't know what it's going to be, though. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy to shock the world, though. But it would be defensive, if anything.
Cleveland. I like Cleveland for this one.
Okay. And then
one of those two, Cleveland, and then the other one goes to Green Bay.
Okay. And my number 10 is our laughing stock because now this is year 5. They haven't used the franchise tag. And we predicted they were going to sign someone. It would be the first domino to drop, the Ravens didn't sign anybody. So
You were on there. You were right on.
we have two good players that they were speculated to sign, Ngakwe and Judon, linebacker and defensive end or defensive line, defensive
Just
end.
defensive line player. I
Okay,
think he's a defense. You know how JJ Watt is like a D tackle and a D
yeah,
end, and a nose
yeah,
tackle in this.
they move around too much. But two good players, two great players that you would have on your team. But my argument once again, and I think you agreed, it's like a factory. Like we say, Pittsburgh has a wide receiver factory. Those guys
Yeah.
bring in another guy, bring in another guy, bring in another guy. So what do you see?
Rockaway is listed as an outside linebacker
Okay,
or a defensive end.
okay,
It depends on what system he is in, just so you
okay.
know.
So nobody signed there. Do you think? I know we were talking, I think, with a beat writer. Judon had some beef with him about what he was saying about him,
Yeah.
and it was back and forth with that. Do you see them trying to keep these two players? Because I feel like they're very pivotal. Like you said, they're not a win now type of team. They're
Yeah.
kind of like get the momentum and keep it, and let the defense do their job to keep us in this game. Do you think that they're going to make a run at these two players and try and at least keep one of them?
Yes. Absolutely, yes. I think the Ravens are a first class organization. Let's just start with that, you know? So to me, how they handle like they're still trying to figure out Lamar Jackson. That's why they can't franchise anybody because they're going to play Lamar Jackson long term. So once they figure out what they're going to do with his contract situation, then they can worry about the other. Like he's number one on the pecking order right now of who they need to take care of. So once they figure, I think Lamar, because the thing about Dak Prescott getting signed, that just teams are on the clock now. So they're on the clock for Lamar. Lamar's going to get 40 mil. Naturally, you're going to get the MVP 40 mil now. So he's going to get 40 mil a year. Is there going to be room for Judon? Is there going to be room for Ngakwe? I'm not sure. Are they going to take a team-friendly deal? Probably not. Judon, no. Ngakwe, I can see him sticking around. Judon probably will go somewhere else. But Ngakwe they'll probably keep. Well, Ngakwe was only there for a little bit, so I don't. It's not like he has a true tie to them. So it's a little tough. It's tough with them because I'm not sure where their head is at right now. Are they looking for money? Are they looking for long-term security? Are they looking for a ring? Because like think about it, all these players we mentioned. We haven't even mentioned the Bucks. Someone's gonna end up. Someone's gonna end up with the Bucks for cheap. It could be Aaron Jones for all we know. They're gonna because I think Leonard Fournette's gonna get some money. So who are the Bucks gonna look after?
We'll play free agency game on that one for sure.
I'll hold off on Judon and Ngakwe because I'm not. I got to do a little bit more research on where their head is at right now.
Let's just both agree that Ngakwe will not go back to Jacksonville.
Why not?
I think they put bad blood or bad taste.
LeBron shouldn't have gone back to Cleveland, but he did it.
He's a different caliber.
Cleveland, this is for you. One of them might end up in Cleveland, actually.
That'd be a good one.
Cincinnati and Cleveland are going after it now because they know Pittsburgh's in trouble. They know the Ravens need help offensively, and Cleveland is right there. And Cincinnati, once Joe Burrow is back, and they get another receiver, they're right there. So those are two teams that'll go for it. The Giants, they'll go for it. I mean, they got to deal with the Cowboys and the football team, but they ain't got to deal with us. So, I mean, it's Seattle. I mean, there's teams out there. There's teams out there.
I could see Judon coming back. I could see Ngakwe bolting for money.
He probably end up in Detroit on some something stupid like that.
Money, yeah. I could see Detroit signing him. I could see Houston signing him to replace the JJ Watt. There's a lot of places he could go that he would fit in well. Anything is possible. I don't know where he's going to go though. We'll play that one on free agency.
When we do free agency, I'm coming back with a vengeance because now I'm gonna have all my ducks in a row. I'm gonna call my beat writers, my insiders. I got Adam Schefter on line 1. I got Chris Mortensen on like line 6.
What's Michael Plus on?
Michael Pless is on my pager. Every now and then I get this little beep sound.
We got to bring someone on for free agency. There's a lot of people that have been hitting me up and said, "Let me do free agency with you. I really want in." So
we're gonna hit that free agency. I'm coming back with a vengeance.
All right. So second half is starting for the NBA season. You were on the ground in Atlanta. We got nothing from you. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're there for business. We were there for business.
I wasn't all there.
Did you happen to see the All-Star game?
The actual game?
The game and the different events. Did you
the whole Sunday night? Yeah. I watched the Sunday night, yeah.
What did you think of the All-Star game?
I thought the skills contest was weird because it was I wanted to see, I know Luka was there and Chris Paul's old ass was there. I wanted to see John Morant. I wanted to see, LaMelo Ball. I wanted to see like a lot of these young cats in the skills competition. I mean, who won it? Vucevic? No, it's Sabonis. I'm
boy can pass, boy can shoot.
I'm like, Sabonis made every 3-point shot. I was like, okay, cool.
The big man is taking control of the skills challenge.
I know. They didn't have any real little men except for Chris Paul. I mean, Luka Doncic is 6'7". I wanted to see like point guards.
And Chris Paul can never hit that layup to save his life, man. This is year 2 that he's missed it.
Crazy.
Well, he's notorious for missing a layup.
Hey, man, it happens. It's all mental. But I thought the skills competition could have used more younger firepower that fans will like actually like want to gravitate to. No offense to Sabonis and Vucevic and Julius Randle and all these guys, but like
Julius went out ASAP.
Exactly. Man. But I wanted to see
for him. But
I wanted to see like a John Morant and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. The 3-point competition, Steph Curry, man.
Did we think anything else?
But listen, Steph
People backed out. I know that.
So it didn't matter. People backed out. Steph was going to win that regardless. Steph is. It's like he got hurt and he kind of took like a year off, and we kind of forgot about Steph. I feel like I
didn't forget about him.
I felt like he used this All-Star weekend to remind the world, I am still that dude.
Curry.
I'm still that light-skinned dude that y'all love to hate. And I'm like, damn, Steph Curry. Like that 3-point competition, when he gets hot, first of all, I didn't know Mike Conley was going to be that good of a 3-point shooter. That caught me off guard. But Steph, that boy is different, man. Like I'm so happy I grew up in the era that I grew up in, so I can tell my kids about Steph Curry like in however many years. I'm like, man, I grew up with the greatest shooter I've ever seen in my entire life.
The best thing about that contest was when he was missing the shots on the first rack, and then it was like the third rack. They were writing him off like, oh, he might lose this. I think he's gonna lose.
I said it too. I was like, he gonna lose.
I was like, no, dude, like you can't count this guy out. Like I said, I even told, I was watching with a friend. I said, it's coming down to the last ball, and he's not gonna miss it. He's not gonna miss it.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Again, we gotta give kudos to Mike Conley though. I had no idea he would be this good at a 3-point competition. I don't see him as that type of player. So that caught me off guard, but
I think that's 14 years of not being, welcome to the All-Star game. This is going to do it for you right there.
Hey, kudos.
Finally.
Wardell, Stephen Curry is a bad boy. Bad boy.
Dunk contest, what you think?
It's trash.
Wow.
We got robbed. Cassius Stanley got robbed in the first dunk.
It sucks going first in a dunk contest.
That first dunk was a 50. As soon as they didn't give it a 50, I was like, this dunk contest is about to be whack.
Obi's first dunk should have been at 52 because it's never been done.
Obi's first dunk was more impressive during the replays. After I saw the replay, I was like, oh. But Cassius Stanley's first dunk, I was like, damn, I didn't even need to see a replay. The thing about like Amari Stoudemire and all the big men who ever dunked, DeAndre Jordan, it's hard to make
but he was flying and putting some good dunks
Yeah,
together.
he had
He jumped over, like he brought his arm back.
the problem with that dunk is that I always say you can't put your arm on the dude's shoulder because you're using him as a prop. I mean, as a like a lift off a little bit. It was an impressive dunk. I can't do that, and a lot of people in the dunk contest can't do that. But had he cleared him clean, like the reason why what's his name lost last year, Aaron Gordon lost last year, is because he landed on Taco Fall's shoulder.
Mhm,
They wanted to see like it clean. They wanted it to be clean.
mhm.
Mind you, all the people who were judging the dunk contest were all dunk contest winners from the past. So to us, it was impressive. To them, it's like, you know what I mean? Because their criteria is going to be a little bit harder.
I
Either
think
way,
I think Anthony Simons dunks, both of them or all three of them. One of the three were impressive. The recreating the T-Mac was really cool to
that
see,
was cool.
and the one where he just caught the ball off the rim and brought, that was like the same thing as an alley oop, but it was just placed there for you to catch.
Yeah,
And then the last one,
he's 6'3". He's 6'3".
Nate Robinson could jump out the gym over him, man.
You know who's 6 foot? You know who Steve Nash is 6'3". Have you ever seen Steve Nash even get remotely that high?
But that wasn't Steve Nash's game though.
Listen, he's 6'3", and that boy got bunnies. I didn't know he had bunnies.
Mm.
And I know if he would have kissed the rim, if he would have actually kissed it,
Done.
he would have broke his teeth, but it would have been a lot more impressive. But
Break some teeth, win
the
it.
fact that he got that high where he could have actually kissed the rim, I was like, all right, whatever. Do I think he deserved it? To me, it didn't really matter because Cassie Stanley got robbed in that first dunk, and his
But he
confidence
threw himself in the second dunk.
his confidence was shot after that. Like when you know you threw up a 50, it's like you took an exam, right? And I killed this exam. And you come back, you got a C. And you're like, what? Like, what did I do wrong? I think his confidence, he's only 19 years old. His confidence was shook.
And he's on a two-way contract. So
And he's on a two-way deal. Nobody even knows. He's never dunked in an NBA game, and he's known to be a dunker.
They probably gave him that just to represent Indiana in the dunk contest. So I feel like the dunk contest needs like better rules or better like structure to it. You remember the one year that they had the wheel and they had to spin the wheel and they had to recreate a dunk?
I hated that.
The pass? You hated that?
I hated that.
I feel like they should have to recreate a dunk, like a past player's dunk.
Nah, why? You're taking away from the originality.
I guess like I feel like it needs structure because
I think in a normal instance, this dunk if it's a normal All-Star weekend.
So my argument then is why does Anthony Simons dunk get so much hype and get a 50 when he just recreated T-Mac's dunk? It's the same thing. I get you're paying homage, but
yeah, but he didn't have to spin a wheel to do that.
I know, but I'm saying regardless, like when these guys recreate the dunks, like we've seen it before.
But at some point, you're gonna see it's hard. Like we got spoiled watching the Vince Carters and the Jason Richardsons and the T-Macs and stuff.
We did.
And then we had a little lull. But Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine spoiled us again because we thought the dunk contest was back because they put on shows which were amazing. There's not many dunkers like Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon.
Nope.
Like think about it. Even when Dwight was winning and Nate Robinson was only winning because he was short. Nate Robinson wasn't doing anything crazy.
I'm just my three-time dunk champion, man.
Of all the dunkers in NBA history, Nate Robinson is a three-time champion for the dunk contest. You know that's crazy. Think about it. The one that always pissed me off the most was Andre Iguodala when he was with the Sixers.
We got bad blood because
Iguodala threw it off the back of the backboard, cocked it back, threw it under the rim, and reverse slammed it. You don't know how impressive that was.
That wasn't. I remember that.
Nate Robinson just so happened to be 5'9". They let little Nate win.
Hey man, he can't box, but he can dunk for sure. So let him.
He can't box. He can't. Man, whatever.
Hey, he was a good corner though. He was a good corner.
He's a football player. That's why he's so bulky. I don't know how he got his ass knocked out by a YouTuber. How a football player / basketball player get knocked out by a YouTuber?
So the game, what did you think of the game?
the game, man, the game could have been better. Only because I wish Ben Simmons was playing. I wish Joel Embiid was playing. I
Yeah,
wish Durant was playing. I wish Devin Booker was playing. A lot of players I actually wanted to see weren't playing. LeBron didn't play it past the second quarter.
4 points, man.
Hey, I love.
He
Hey,
said I'm a GM.
I loved it. I
I did
loved it
too.
so. You know why? Because he didn't want to be there in the first place. He's like,
Mhm.
he made it clear back in January when they asked him about it. I don't want to be there, but I'll be there. And he showed up, had a couple dunks, and he was like, like the teacher watching his students just fucking master that.
I'm a, I'm a, I'm a fuck all these boys up when playoff time comes.
Yo, LeBron, hey, y'all, listen, LeBron is all psychological. Like he didn't want Paul George on his team, but he got forced to take Paul George. He didn't want to pick any Utah Jazz. He was like, because he know they're the number one seed. He was like, all right, I guess I'll take a Jazz player. Like all the teams that are like that could potentially knock him off his throne. He was there. You could just see the mind, like Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, people like that. Like they had that kind of like that kind of like pettiness, and I loved it. So I love the pettiness from LeBron.
You know what I took away from the All-Star game? It was just another shooting practice for Steph and Dame. That's all I took away from it.
Can we talk about Dame? Can we talk about Dame Dollar? Like Steph, we already knew this.
Really
Steph,
quick,
we already knew this.
I want people to know that Dame had the longest shot that he made in the game. And it pissed me off because I was watching at halftime and they showed, remember, he made that shot from behind backcourt and made it. And then they showed Steph, which was like 2 feet from half court, and they made it. And they showed Steph's highlight and not Dame. I was like, what is this, man?
It's
I
Steph.
don't even like this man.
It's Steph. You know how it is. But
Oh,
can
man,
we look? As long as Damian Lillard is in the NBA, I've been on this train since the first, not the first time I saw him play, but like the first playoff series I saw him in. I'm like, if y'all don't put respect on this man's name, I'm getting sick and tired of it. Like to the point, like I'm really like I don't understand why. I know Giannis, he got the All-Star MVP. Cool, he didn't miss a shot, 35 points. That was great. But I think
Dame was number 2.
Dame. Like, and I kept saying it when the score got close. I just kept pointing to my wrist. I said, "It's Dame time. It's Dame time." And
the best part was Steph even recognized when he made that shot. He got up and did one of those.
No. Steph knew he was gonna make the half-court shot before he even took it. He started waving goodbye to the bench before Dame even took the shot. That's what game recognized game for real. Because we consider, universally, no, Steph's the greatest shooter of all time. I think we can all agree that is what it is. But Dame is a bad.
Dame's under the radar, man. He's truly under the radar.
I don't understand how he can be under the radar. He's been killing teams.
You got to compare him with the Ray Allens, the Reggie Millers, and things like that. But as of right now, like he's holding really tight on Steph's Achilles heel, in my opinion.
I've been saying it even when Steph was winning MVPs, every time Dame went up against him, he dropped 50. He'll give him 42. He'll have a triple-double. He'll dunk on somebody. Like, he always welcomed that challenge.
Dame is my favorite player.
I just don't understand.
Back down on Dame. It's just, it's so crazy that, he makes it from behind half court, but they show Steph's. I was like, this doesn't make any sense, man.
They even did it I think it was on ESPN. Like, the article said, Team LeBron, led by Steph and Giannis, I was like, led by who? I know Steph had a good game. Don't get me wrong. And I would never take anything away from Steph. But y'all need to stop playing with my boy Damian Lillard. I'm getting sick and tired of it. Like that's the pandemic now. The pandemic, coronavirus, that's almost over. We got vaccines and stuff. This new pandemic is disrespecting Damian Lillard, and I'm not gonna sit here and have it anymore. I'm sick and tired of it.
All right, so second half of the season will be taking place now. They put out the schedules. What do you see predictions going forward? Do you think anything's going to change out west, out east? How are teams going to match up? Utah, the real deal. Philly, the real deal.
You already know how it's going to end. Brooklyn in 6 versus whomever comes out of the west. It doesn't really matter at this point. Unless
Blake Griffin is now a net.
Unless Philly or LA because I think Utah, and I give them all the credit in the world. But when it gets to the playoffs, this is a big boys league, okay? LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, like this is where the real men come out, and y'all still babies. No offense, Donovan Mitchell. I think you the next. I think you got a lot of D Wade in you, but you're not D Wade. Like I seen D Wade put Miami on his back for 4 games in a row to beat Dallas back in '06. I don't think Donovan's there yet. I think he's got the talent to be there, but I think he needs to get disappointed in the playoffs maybe one more time and be in a different city that's not Utah. The Clippers, the Lakers, the Nets, and the Sixers are going to be your 4 conference finals teams, unless seeding. I don't know how seeding is going to work in the West because the Jazz might very well finish with the top seed, and if the Jazz have the top seed and Phoenix somehow holds on to that 2 seed, then we have like 3 and 4 will be LA, and then like I don't know. It's weird how the seeding could possibly work out, but to me, the 4 best teams are those teams. But with Brooklyn getting Blake Griffin, and somehow they might get. I don't know if you saw your favorite player in the world, Marcus Aldridge, just got mutually parting ways with the Spurs. If the Nets find a way to get LaMarcus Aldridge and or Andre Drummond, I will not watch basketball for the rest of this season.
I won't either.
This calendar year, I will officially close my laptop. I'll close my TV, my tablets, my phones. I'm not listening to any more debate shows. I'm not listening to any blogs, any podcasts. If they get all these guys, what is the point of there is no point. All this to beat a 36-year-old man.
You think
they really think he's Thanos?
Do you think Tom Brady's just like calling him and say like, here's how you get it done. Let me teach you.
Ain't nobody had a team like the it's literally what the Bucks did or what the Nets are doing right now. Exactly. Getting everybody for cheap. The Nets are the Bucks. And LeBron's like, I got hurt ass Anthony Davis. And he looks around, he's like, okay, Dennis Schroeder's here. I got the bald eagle, what's his name? Caruso. He's doing commercials now. Kuzma is like
he's just feeling too much.
Kuzma always feeling himself. Montrezl Harrell's is got like a shoe deal with Reebok now. Like just like unless and then the Clippers, it's literally just Kawhi and Paul George. I don't care what you say about Ibaka. I don't care what you say about Batum.
It's the Kawhi and Paul George.
It's Kawhi and Paul George. So unless one of those 3 teams, Philly, LA, get somebody of relevance to it's impossible. It's impossible.
It is. I agree.
Brooklyn is 6.
Brooklyn is 6. All right. So with that winding down, let's give kind of some early predictions of what we think for NBA awards coming up.
We'll give some mid-season awards. How about we'll call it that?
Mid-season.
Because my opinion can change in 2 weeks. So up
just like the beat writers. The beat writers' opinions changed in 2 days. So
exactly. Like again, if I'm giving new information, I'm allowed to change my opinion, right?
I know I gave you the list.
Yes.
I'm gonna start from the back end though.
Cool.
Because I feel like the first one is just like what everybody wants.
Yeah, of course. So start from the back.
Executive of the year. It's a no-brainer.
Sean Marks of the Brooklyn Nets.
No-brainer. It's
Sean
a no-brainer.
Marks of the Brooklyn Nets.
Sean Marks / Tom Brady on the other line is definitely the GM of the year. Has to be.
No, congrats. Like seriously, I applaud everything that like they made the big splash to get James Harden, and they're gonna find ways to fill up the holes. You got to give it to them.
New Zealanders know how to do it.
You got to give it to them.
New Zealanders know how to do it. Coach of the year,
Quinn Snyder.
Agree with you 100%. I wasn't Steve Nash. No, because he's
not the coach. Kyrie Irving said at the beginning of the year, we don't need a coach. He's not our coach. This is all talent that's winning.
All he does is go out and have, lunch with Blake Griffin and say, come win this shit, man. Don't
he like D'Antoni, what should I do? Because that's a coach. He's like, who else is on that coaching staff? What should I do? Oh,
Get more shooters. All right. I agree with you on Snyder. He's definitely coach of the year.
yeah.
Most improved player.
Jeremy Grant of the Detroit Pistons.
If he
I,
doesn't, he's snubbed.
he went from like 11 to 23 points a game. Like he was good for Denver last year,
He
but
was good.
Detroit, that's the only bright spot that they have right now.
Detroit, for him to grow, he had to go to Detroit because he's going to get more minutes there. And he was on a really bad Philadelphia 76er team. And I feel like they just didn't let him
Slow down. Slow
Hey,
your roll.
I'm just trying to be honest. He was with your Sixers, and I saw flashes in him that I was like, oh, this kid's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah,
Then he kind of got lost in the Denver system a little bit, then reemerged, had a good playoff run, and Pistons took a gamble. And yeah, my original pick would have been, and if he comes back healthy, Christian Wood.
Right.
I love
Christian Wood was
you
my original pick too, but he hasn't played in like a month. So
yeah, that's hard.
Again, your best ability is availability. So right now I got Jeremy Grant, Christian Wood. I was gonna say Julius Randle, but he didn't really make that much of a bump. He's gradually gotten better. So yeah, I got Jeremy Grant.
Bruce Bosher's another one, but not he's not touching it. It has to be Jeremy
Toronto's
Grant.
not good enough for me. So
yeah. Defensive player of the year.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. I'm gonna go Rudy Gobert again.
Of course you will. Ben Simmons.
I hope Ben Simmons wins though.
I want you to listen.
I want to see a guard or somebody else win it. Exactly. I would love to see that.
Just because he's not blocking 4 shots a game does not mean he's not defending 1 through 5.
And he bought his brother a car on IG Live.
That's dope. That was dope. Hey, he got that All-Star money.
I'm a big Ben Simmons fan. I really am. I got a lot of high hopes.
I want him to be successful so bad. I'm like,
I want people to take him serious, man.
Because when that whole Donovan Mitchell Rookie of the Year thing was happening a couple years ago, I rolled so hard for Ben Simmons. But like now I have to sit here and like I will admit that Donovan Mitchell has definitely progressed more.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Ben Simmons has too. It's just
his game is exactly the same.
It's
exactly the same. He's got 16, 8, and 8 is going to be his stat line for the rest of his career. He's gotten better defensively, but it's the same. It's the same. He peaked. I think he already peaked. If the only way he gets better is if he develops and trusts the jump shot. Other than that, 17, 8, and 8, 17, 9, and 8, that's going to be his stat line. That's all, which is not bad. It's just, that's Jason Kidd numbers, but.
I agree.
Yeah.
6th man of the year.
I got to give it to Kevin Lora on this one. Jordan Clarkson.
I agree.
Jazz. Utah got coach of the year. They could have defensive player of the year and a 6th man of the year for sure. I think Jordan Clarkson right now would be that guy.
I don't think there's any other 6 men that are really doing it right now.
Nobody that really stands out like that.
No All-Stars this year either that were 6 man.
Because like usually it's like the Montrez, Lou Will, those are like the last 2. Dennis Schroeder, but Dennis Schroeder starts now. But yeah, it's Jordan Clarkson.
Nobody comes to mind. It's definitely got to be. It's definitely got to be him. Rick, this guy could tear his ACL right now, and we know the media will just say like the way he sits in the chair is so professional. Like he could start leading the NBA in claps during the regular season.
I want to make a case for somebody else though, but
please do, because I want to hear it.
All right,
we all know who it's going to be.
LaMelo will win Rookie of the Year, okay? But
make the case because
I want to make a case for Anthony Edwards, okay?
Thank you. Please.
That team is a train wreck, okay? The only bright spot to me that they have is him. Like Cat, God bless him. God bless him. God bless him. He's dealt with COVID. He's dealt with deaths in his family. He gets hurt. Carlton Towns could be so. I think he can be so good. Like I thought when he got to this league, he will be the most unstoppable, one of the most unstoppable offensive players that we had as a big man, and he can't really put his team on the back.
Yeah,
D'Angelo Russell got hurt, and then outside of that is nobody. It's Anthony Edwards, and I think Anthony Edwards to me is. He's not a better player than LaMelo. I honestly just find him more fun to watch than LaMelo. Like LaMelo is cool, and I like it. I'm cool with it. He's way better than Lonzo Bum Ball. Way better than Lonzo. He's way better than LiAngelo. He's the ball brother. If y'all listen to his dad a few years ago when LaMelo was still 15, he said, "Now my boy LaMelo, that's gonna be the best one." We gotta give LeVar Ball some credit at some point, okay? LeVar Ball called this out when his boy was 15 in Chino Hills still. So I'm gonna just say that. Anyway, LaMelo will win it, but we gotta give Anthony Edwards some flowers too.
We do. Stephen A said it best about LaMelo. He said that he's the ball brother that we were promised. So
Yes, exactly.
I'll give it to Stephen A, man. I can never trust anything LeVar says because he comes in there with that slick eye, like he's got something slick to say.
LeVar is marketing. He has to act the way he acts, but underneath everything that he says is true. You just have to like get past all the BS first.
I
Like,
agree.
not everything, like not Lonzo's not better than Steph Curry, but you know,
Yeah, that's he's gonna be a Laker for life. That didn't happen.
all my boys
They'll all be on the Lakers.
all be playing together. If you want to win a championship, all my boys got to play together.
Didn't happen. LeBron said, "We gotta clean this up, man. We gotta clean this up."
Yeah,
All right. So the big award, MVP.
you know what I got Joel Embiid. Hey, you see what he does. If
I got a new respect for him.
if Hakeem Olajuwon got strong and a little bit taller, you will have a Joel Embiid. Two boys from Africa, one from Nigeria, one from Cameroon. My boy Joel Embiid, that boy is going to get us the number one seed over the Durant, even though we're going to lose to them in the playoffs. Doc Rivers is going to make sure that we get that number one seed.
I'm knocking on wood right now, man. I want him to be healthy.
This is the healthiest I've seen him in his career.
The best thing for him is Doc Rivers being his coach.
Yep.
Doc Rivers, he'll at least get you to the playoffs, and he can give you that deep run. He knows because
And we got Sam Cassell.
Even when he doesn't have a voice, like he still sounds the same.
Yeah.
You know, so
you can tell there's a different level of intensity and a different level of play when with Embiid. Like he seems a lot more focused this year. He wants to kill everybody that he plays. You was talking about Gobert being a defensive player of the year. Did you see what
he mopped him
did
up?
Did you see what Embiid did to him last week?
Mopped him up.
Okay,
man. He blocked his shots, made him look dumb.
Rudy Gobert, stop. I'm sorry. There's no after I saw that game, absolutely not. That's all. That's all help side. He plays help side block defense. He's not going. He let this boy give him 40 and 20. Am I right? 50? Was it 50?
I don't think it was 50. I think he gave him 40.
45, whatever it was. He gave him bucket all day.
Well, Joel's on a tirade on like a crazy stretch right now.
You see him hit step back threes to send the game to overtime. That was against Utah. Step back three.
My MVP, Joel or LeBron, either or. But my right now, because an All-Star game, LeBron had the upper level on Joel Embiid, and then as of yesterday, it's been flipped. I think the Vegas odds is plus 250 to 200 now. As much
as I want LeBron to win another MVP, I would love to see it. You know, I'll be 5 for him. I love it, but
torn for you. I know that, but you got to go for your Sixers on this.
But I gotta go with Embiid. I think LeBron at some point has to realize that his body needs to be preserved for when it actually counts. Because AD's already hobbled. LeBron can't afford to be putting his body through 40 minutes a night.
I want you to know that, and the listeners to know that I text this man whenever I watch Embiid now, and I let him know that I have a new respect for his game.
Thank you.
Because I thought Embiid was I didn't want to say a bust type of player. He's good, but he's just always hurt. He's always hurt. I'm
not gonna lie.
Come out and say some shit.
Yeah.
And then he can't back it up. This year, he's got all the backing up, man. He's phenomenal. He's a great player this year, and I hope it continues.
I will admit, prior to the season, I remember last year, I got frustrated with him. I was like, bro, just trade him. Just trade him. Him and Ben Simmons can't play together. They said, so who do you want, Ben Simmons or Embiid? I'm like, man, Ben Simmons will last longer because he doesn't get hurt. So trade Embiid. And I would say trade him to Miami because I wanted Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and like somebody else in the draft pick. Now looking back, nah, that would have been dumb. I
I
like
think
Bam. I like Bam, but there's a reason why he's not even an All-Star this year. He made one All-Star team, and he's not a bad player, but he's not Embiid. He's not Embiid. Think about it. There were players that couldn't make the game, and they still picked like Sabonis over him and stuff like that over Bam. But Embiid, that's a starter, All-Star game. Starter.
All right, that's the show. Let's finish it up with where do you go to college?
Okay, we're gonna do that today. We were talking about the first one I'm gonna do. We're talking about the Utah Jazz. So I said, we might as well pick a Utah Jazz player. I'm gonna give the Utah Jazz their credit, their flowers today. Um, this man, I don't know if I gave you this one, but if I didn't, I'll pick another one. In 1998, Michael Jordan pushed off, hit the shot, the last shot. Where did Byron Russell go?
You gave me this one.
I did. Where'd he go?
Long Beach State.
Where did Olden Polynice go to college?
You gave me that one.
I had a backup plan.
You gave me that one, and I told you I didn't know. That was another one you gave me. Virginia.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna give you another Utah one. Greg Ostertag.
Greg Ostertag, big boy. Ooh. I might get this mixed up, but I want a second guess if I don't get it. Kansas.
All right, you went 3 for 3 on Utah, so I'm never giving you a Utah Jazz player again. Okay?
They're boring.
Howard Isley.
Howard Easley.
Where did he go?
Howard Easley. Where did he go?
That's the last one.
He's a relevant player.
I know.
Howard Isley. He's an assistant coach at Michigan now. You know that?
I did not know that actually.
I saw him on the bench the other day. Where did he go to school?
Oh, he went to school in Detroit. He from my neck of the woods. Nice.
He went to a school in Detroit?
No, but he went to high school in Detroit.
I was gonna say no. Georgia Tech. I don't know.
Nah, Boston College.
Boston College.
That's fine. You got those other 3 Utah players. I'm impressed. All right. Ty Lue.
Ty Lue is a weird one, man. I know where he went to school. It's just I can't see anybody like living in that area. Nebraska.
University of Nebraska, Lincoln.
Yeah, but I just can't see anybody out there. It's just weird.
All right. I got draft classes you should know, 1997, number 4 overall pick. I picked this guy because my favorite player of all time, Allen Iverson, crossed him up twice while he was playing with the Washington Wizards. Antonio Daniels. I know you know this draft class, so don't play with me.
It's the most boring sport ever, and it's the color that I'm wearing right now. Bowling green.
Wow. Okay. Impressive. Last one. I like this guy a lot.
Okay.
He goes by the name of ISO Joe. Where did Joe Johnson go to college?
Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas. You did well today. You're getting better. You look like you've been studying.
Not studying, just
Is this what you're getting your PhD in?
I'm learning to like not let the pressure get onto me and just think and think and think.
You used to get really red. Now you're calm. You seem like your nerves is not too much right now. So I definitely can see that you're getting better at this game. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I promise you I'm good. I just sometimes I get really nervous because I hear names. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Ronnie Cycli, that's probably the best one you gave me because he is a good player. Probably doesn't get the recognition he gets, but was a good player.
I got lazy today, but I got you next week.
Howard Isley was a good one, even though he went second round, 96, I think.
Hey,
I don't know.
You know what? You're the Schwab. I'm just the guy that Google stuff.
That was a good one.
Jeeves.
All right, so that's the show. Next week, we're looking to do a possible show on free agency in the NFL. Maybe tie in some NBA free agents that might get let go, or trade, something like that. I don't know.
Well,
But
the trade deadline is the 25th, so
trade deadline.
we'll
people-
see. Buyout market, we'll see.
We're gonna have some fun with that episode. But you know the rule. Go follow us Twitter, fair_weather pod, IG, YouTube, Facebook, the Fair Weather Podcast, and wherever you subscribe to podcasts, you can find us there. Where's the last place they can find us at?
MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace.
Also, if y'all have any suggestions of what you want to hear, who you want to see on the show, et cetera, let us know. Send us a DM. That's where it goes down, in the DM. So send us a little message, and we'll see what we can incorporate on the next show. All right.
Game.
Peace.
Later.